you get used to it. And then I'm like, I almost don't want to talk without hearing my voice the real way.
I know.
Like, it sucks.
Gus, what's your full name?
Gus Tarrant.
No, come on.
It's just Gus.
Really?
Yep. That's
Not
what everyone
Gustav
says.
or
No.
Gustafer?
Nope.
Nothing.
I kind of wish it was Gustav.
Okay, first off, Gustafer isn't a real name.
It could
Is
be.
it? Is that a name in Canada?
No.
No?
No.
Then why
I just made it because Christopher, I had nothing else to go with Gus.
Gustavo.
Gustavo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
A lot
would
of
make you
people-
European.
A lot of people think it's Gustavo, and then they get confused when it's just Gus because that's usually a Hispanic name.
Yeah.
So I get that question
You
constantly.
speak Spanish?
No.
God.
I could survive. I can order fast food.
Oh, you can. All right.
Yeah.
That's more than me. We have a Gustavo works at our office in Winnipeg. No, he's a chemist. He is from Ukraine or someplace like that. Eastern Europe.
It's also like a Hispanic name.
Is it?
Gustavo.
Gustavo. Yeah.
Yeah. I just heard myself breathe for the first time.
Did you?
I took a deep breath and I heard it in my ears.
I did.
Are we live, Michelangelo?
Nice.
We are. All right.
I got one question before we start for Gus. You know what it's going to be.
We already started. So.
All right. I got a question.
Okay.
You know what it is.
I don't.
What do you bench press?
So I don't run rep max anymore. Right now I'm repping to 45.
Fuck. Well, how many times?
3 sets of 8.
He just said he's repping it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No spotter, right?
None.
Yeah.
Yeah.
245. Wow.
245. How's that make you feel?
Smaller than him.
There we go. That's the goal.
It is. You see, that's what I'm saying. That is the goal. 240. That's pretty good. 245.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get there.
Yeah. How old are you?
24.
Wow. So you're just starting out, bro.
Yep.
You could be either of our children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I am old enough to have a 24. I have a 22-year-old,
Yeah.
and I was like 26 when she was born.
Yeah.
So, anyway, since we're on the workout topic, I said yesterday when on our last podcast that I was gonna go to the gym today and
Beat your record.
beat my record.
How'd you do?
I beat it.
Nice.
Yeah.
0.1 or?
I put on David Goggins. I crushed it.
Oh, you did?
I put on David Goggins.
That's all you need.
Yeah. I let him yell at me.
Nice.
Every time I wanted to quit, I just kept listening to him.
Yeah.
I did, so my old record was 2.55 miles. Today I did 2.66.
Nice.
Then I injured myself.
Oh, I knew I was going to ask you. Did you hurt yourself?
That's it.
Damn David
You
Goggins,
see,
man.
yeah, that's why you can't, bro. He
I
can.
could,
he still can.
I could feel it, man. I could feel it the whole time, but I was just like, I said I was going to do it, and I'm going to do it. Like,
Yeah. Plus, you couldn't come in today and say shit.
yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't
You
do
can't
it.
just ignore it.
No, you can't.
And I got on and already was heading for it, so I was just
Yeah.
like, F it.
Yeah, and then you fell forward and hurt yourself.
Probably going to not be able to run for like 3 weeks.
Oh, shit. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you accomplished something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I crushed it.
Yeah.
Like, I went from 2.55 to 2.66.
6.5. Yeah.
66.
0.11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next goal will be 2.75.
Yeah.
And then
Right, you're in threes.
and then 3.
Yeah.
So
You run?
No.
No.
I was going to say he's got me crushed there.
Yeah.
I
tried-
just
yeah, don't know
started
either.
like 2 months ago. I started walking 1 mile a day, and then I went to like run walking, and I still do interval training. Like I interval run. I run for a while and then I walk for a bit. I like it.
More like the HIIT style workouts.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do it on a 7 incline, so it's like uphill. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I don't run at all. Only cardio I do is the rowing machine. So
That's
I do a
tough.
HIIT workout with
Yeah,
that.
rowing machine's good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I used to
Full
love
body.
the stairs, and I did the stairs a lot, and but it just like tore up my knees, and so then I was off of cardio for like 9 months or so, probably maybe like a year almost, since I injured myself in basketball last year.
That was a bad one,
I
though.
have the same. This is the same injury from a year ago.
Oh, it is. It came back up.
I re-injured today. Yeah. Yeah.
So is it like an MCL, LCL?
No, it's like it's in my lower abdomen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like a hernia almost.
It's not, but it's horrible.
Not fun. I just try not to get injured. That's why I don't run rep max anymore. I keep the weight relatively light and just go for reps.
Yeah.
Because I've blown out my shoulder a couple times.
Yeah.
Can't do surgery.
He said he keeps it light at 245.
Yeah, I heard him. I heard him, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I keep it late at 175.
There we go.
I punched that on 15 times though.
You punch 175 for 15?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what's that? A plate and a 25?
Yeah.
You don't look as cool if you don't have 2 plates on though.
That's when you start, yeah.
Yeah.
And as
start
soon as
to
you
look-
get a little bit more on there, you start to feel like a badass.
Yeah. Well, when I did the
Even like putting
yeah.
the 10s on, you start
Yep.
to feel a little bit more like a badass.
Yeah, I'm not there. I don't. My yeah, like you said, the shoulder.
Yep.
You know, if you're not right. So.
What are you doing on the dumbbells though?
The max I did was 100 on each side. Well, I usually just do 75s, 80s.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's heavy on dumbbells.
Yeah,
That's-
I'm good
yeah.
on dumbbells.
That's solid.
Yeah.
How about on the incline?
Bad on the incline.
Bad?
Bad.
Mm.
I can't even tell you. I don't even.
You should do those every time you
I
do
should.
chest. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Build up the upper chest.
Yeah.
Makes it pop a little bit.
Yeah.
The shoulders.
I've been trying to use that machine where you row it. You know, you bring it from down,
Yeah.
you bring it up like this.
With the cables.
Yeah, the cables.
Yep.
That's for upper chest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but
Not as
nothing
good.
better. Nothing better than
Nothing better than
dumbbells.
incline bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I just
You just
All
have
right.
to get used to it.
yeah, I'll start light.
It's kind of like running. Yeah. Start light.
I just hate going
45s.
in there. Yeah, that's.
Grab the 45s.
Yeah, just
Pump them out until you
Yeah.
get used to it. Then
Yeah.
go up to 55s.
yeah,
Then 65s. Next thing you know, you're doing 75s.
yeah. True.
It'll take like 3 months.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You're already strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start tomorrow. I like doing
You're,
chest.
you're a moose.
I'm a moose.
I only say that because he's Canadian,
There we go.
right?
He's a moose. Is Moosehead beer from Canada?
I don't know.
A Canadian beer?
But there's a moose on it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely a moose
In
on
a green bottle.
Never even heard of that beer.
Okay.
it. Moosehead?
Yeah, no.
No? It might be like
Drink till you're dead.
might be like because we're old.
Old style beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It
was
was-
never really
it
a
was
drinker though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. I drank a lot in high school. What was your thing?
Drugs.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I drank in high school, started going to the bars and clubs at like 17, 18. Did like a year of that and then hard drugs.
Just straight to the
Yeah.
good stuff. What was your drug of choice?
Meth primarily.
Meth?
Meth, opiates, pills, everything.
Nice. What was it like for you growing up?
It was good. Yeah, I mean, I had a good childhood. My dad was Air Force. Mom didn't work, so she stayed home. Have 2 brothers, 1 sister, so pretty good childhood.
Yeah. Are you like where are you in the kids?
So I have 1 younger brother, older sister.
Older brother. No, say that again.
So I'm third child.
Third child?
Yep. And everyone's 2.5, 3 years apart.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Who are you the closest with?
I would say my younger brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up together. I played football. He actually would practice on our football team. So I was really close with him growing up.
Nice. Did you guys, anybody else have a substance abuse problem?
Yeah, so my sister's in recovery, and then my younger brother isn't in recovery. He had his own issues, more mental health issues, but he's on the right track now.
Nice. And you grew up in Texas,
Yep.
I recall.
Yep. So San Antonio area, Texas, a little town called Bernie, and then moved when I was, I think, 11 or 12 up to Vermont.
Oh,
So-
from Vermont?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Vermont.
Basically Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was gonna say it's Canadians buy homes down in Vermont.
They do?
It's their getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because they want to come to America?
I don't ask.
That's it.
I don't know.
You don't ask?
My dad.
I mean, why did you come to America?
sobriety?
It's true.
I looked up. I was reading the Forbes Fortune 500 with my brother across the desk, and he said, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" And I opened it up, and there it was, the 10 most luxurious treatment centers in the country. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go to number 7 right here in Newport Beach.
What was it called?
Sober Living by the Sea.
Oh,
I closed the book. Next thing you know, I'm here.
it was rated the 7th. most-
No, it wasn't in order. It was just the 10 most influential in the country.
Huh.
I just picked Sober Living by the Sea.
Interesting.
Ended up in Newport Beach. I had no clue where it was.
Was this? I don't know why I'm interviewing you. I want to know about Gus. I just like, how the hell did you end up?
now.
Yeah, right. That
Gus.
was like, he really got me right there. Like, what the fuck?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pills, heroin,
A little bit.
but
I dabbled.
Strictly smoking.
No. So I went to IV on 2 different runs. I went to IV.
Wow.
Yeah. So first time shooting up, I was, I think, 19. And then at that time, I'd moved to South Carolina. My sister was already sober. She gave me the chance to move in with her, get out of Vermont. I'd had some legal issues. Didn't want to be in Vermont anymore. So she gave me an opportunity to move in with her. Went well for a couple of months, maybe a month, and then started using again.
Met somebody?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it funny how we could go anywhere and meet somebody?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, they're like, they
Yeah.
have like, well, your drug of choice is meth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
So who gave you the first shot?
So a nurse that I was getting high with.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I figured there was someone there.
Changed everything, didn't it?
Immediately. Yeah. I was like, this is what I'm going to do forever.
Right.
Yep. And I made that decision a few different times. When I first started using really heavily was up in Vermont. Kind of the research chemicals, fentanyl, fake pills,
Mhm.
things like that. So I'd already been getting high, and then my dad passed away, and that sent me fully off the deep end.
Oh,
How did he die?
Heart attack.
Damn. How old?
I should know that. It was 2015. He was low 50s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Young.
Not easy.
Yeah.
Shit.
So that was the trauma that sort of sent me fully off the deep end. I was already using at that point. I was doing pills, woke up, he was having a heart attack, did CPR, that whole thing. Didn't
Wow.
work.
Mm.
And then my immediate reaction was just go get high. So that part, like addict brain was already there, but I was just ignoring it.
like same day?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So dealt with the EMTs and everything. Kind of got my mom settled with my siblings, and then I was out the door
Mm.
to go deal with my problems how I always deal with my problems
Right.
at that time.
Yeah.
That's a gnarly one though, bro. You guys were doing CPR on your dad.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's shit. You know, no real tools in the toolbox. What do you do but get high?
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely a tough situation. So that's where I'm kind of split of like, it is definitely trauma that made me worse. At that point, I was already using. I should have known I had a problem,
Right.
especially seeing everything my sister was going through. But I made that first decision, and then after that, you're sort of stuck with it until
Right.
you can get help.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened after that? Where did the life go after that?
Like I said, off the deep end. So I remember making a few different conscious decisions of what path I'm going to take in life. Growing up, I always had opportunities that were put in front of me, and I would go the other way. I would run into a different lifestyle I had no business being in, and putting myself in situations I shouldn't have been in. So when I moved to South Carolina, like I said, my sister was in recovery. I had that option open. She gave me a job. Her, at that time, I think boyfriend or husband, I'm not sure if they were married yet, gifted me a car, set me up at the restaurant, started working. And again, I made that choice of this isn't what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back into that lifestyle, started back selling pills, just a bunch of, I always call it just hood rat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As much crime as I could do and still think I could get away with it,
Yeah.
and try and support a lifestyle that way. And then ended up, I think I was there about a year and a half, ended up going to treatment for the first time. I had like a mental breakdown right around the time. The anniversary of my dad's death was always a tough situation.
Yeah.
So I had sort of a mental breakdown. I had already been using meth at that point. Family staged an intervention on me just with my family members and forced me into treatment in Georgia. So I went to a program about an hour outside of Savannah, Georgia for about a year. Was in treatment for 8 months. Didn't stay sober the full year. When I went to sober living, I was working in the union. Again, had a great opportunity to learn, have a good employment, make good money. Similar situation though, just chose the other route. I relapsed pretty soon into sober living. I remember I actually picked up a year chip high. So that was my first year chip I picked up, and I was not sober.
Nobody knew?
I think everyone knew.
Oh.
Yeah. I was never a functional addict.
Yeah.
I'd look at people who come in the rooms and they say, oh yeah, I held a job the whole time. It just destroyed my life from that side. And it makes no sense to me.
Right.
As soon as I start using, I'm not working. I'm a dirtbag immediately.
Yeah.
So
Same.
Yeah.
I'm unemployable.
Yep.
Everybody knows I'm high.
Yep.
Oh man. And it's not good.
Yeah.
You know, I can't get to work. I'm usually, see, mine, I don't know how yours went, but I'm a meth addict and an IV meth user too. And mine goes straight psychosis now.
Yep.
Like I'm not like functioning on any level.
Yep.
Like I immediately start working for the CIA again.
Yep.
Again, you know, I'm like, damn, I'm back here again.
That's
How
good
did they get
stuff.
me back in the
Like,
job?
yeah, I
shit.
told you guys I was retired like
Yep.
5 years ago. I don't want to do this again. And then I'm just fucking
Yeah.
full blown in doing missions again.
Yep. The missions. Constant.
Constant missions,
Yep.
man. Is that what it was like?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I never worked for the CIA. Usually they were trying to find me, or a group was trying to kidnap me. So I had to defend against that.
Okay.
And yeah.
I was always being chased by the FBI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But because when you're in I was a secret operative for the CIA, so nobody even
course.
knew except for like, a few people. And one of those people was always the president.
Yep.
Of course, he always knew, and I had contact with him and stuff. I mean, like
the
crazy
handler.
fucking
Yeah.
shit, man.
It's amazing you got the long-termers out there.
Huh?
Those guys out there for 20 years, 30 years, they're still out there using.
Yep.
Well, not everybody goes into psychosis though either.
Yeah,
Like,
but how not?
I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, I
I
Yeah.
used so I started, I got high on meth for the first time when I was 13, and I used from 13 until 22. And I never went into a psychosis. And then I went to a rehab for a year. I got 3 years clean, and then I relapsed, and that was in the end of 99, right? Beginning of 2000, and that was the first little stint of my psychosis.
Wow.
And then I got clean for a little bit again, and then right at the 2000 election, I was full blown in my addiction.
Wow.
And they were talking about the little things that you punch out on the ballot called the hanging chads.
Yeah.
And I talked about it the other day, but
Yeah.
that shit really happened, and that was the beginning of my meth-induced psychosis.
No fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of me working for the CIA.
Yeah.
And, I helped Bush get elected.
That's amazing.
that year.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So that's like crazy ass shit,
Yeah.
man.
Looking back on it, like in the moment, it seemed so normal. And I was like, everyone goes through this. This is just a part of my life. So,
Right.
and then looking back on it, some of the things I would think were so off the wall crazy that I tell my family, I tell friends about it, and they look at me like you're a crazy person.
Did you ever tell them when you were like in the middle of it?
Oh, yeah.
Tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
Go to the house, tell your parents, they're after me.
So I would call my sister, and her being in recovery, her drug of choice was meth too. So she knew I was in psychosis.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't even challenge it. She would just listen to what I was saying and just say, okay, you need to go to rehab. I was like, no, you don't get it.
The only thing that's going to save you right now.
Yeah.
You know what people interventionists and stuff should start doing? Look, I talked to the people that are looking for you.
Yeah.
And they said that if you go to rehab, they'll stop.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're off the list.
You're off the list.
Just play into the psychosis.
Yeah.
Bro, I had remote control cameras with a little antenna on it. So in my apartment, there was 2 elevators. So I brought 2 remote control cameras. And at the top, you have the lights.
Yep.
And there's like little holes and you could move them. I put the cameras in the elevator looking down.
So that you could see
So
if
that I
somebody
could
was
watch
coming.
people coming up on the cameras. I had a camera right outside my door. I mean, the neighbors it was kind of an older place because it was expensive.
Yeah.
They kept kicking it with their canes, hitting my camera outside my door because I had it down both hallways like this.
And they would do it on purpose.
They knew something was going on. Fire department's there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I would try to set up cameras, but even if I did, and I set them up, whatever monitor I was looking at, I would hallucinate that there was something going on out there.
Always.
So
Yes.
I would see shit that was
Yeah.
on the cameras and I would think they were coming.
Yeah.
I said it on a podcast in the beginning. Like the Ninja Turtles were outside of my house one time, like literally in the trees.
Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They had to hold their little freaking masks on and everything.
They were coming ready.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the weirdest
It's
thing
amazing
ever.
where we go, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
Now, as a meth addict, were you any good at selling drugs?
Yes and no. So I was really good at selling drugs. I was good at fraud. I was terrible at money management and managing my life. So I would go through spurts where I'd make a lot of money, and at the end of a run, I have nothing left. And then I'm trapped somewhere. The best example was I did a fraud scheme, ended up with a good amount of money, ended up going to 2 spring breaks, went to Mardi Gras, and went to South by Southwest. At the end of it, I was stuck in Alabama with $1.50 in change, sitting in my car, no gas in my car, no way to get home. At the time,
no
I had an
drugs.
apartment in Georgia. I had still had a little bit of drugs left, so I finished those off and then started trying to get back to Georgia. Took maybe a day and a half.
Panhandling on the way home at the gas stations.
That, and then I would use AAA. So me and my whole family have AAA, so I would use all of their memberships to tow me the max amount, and then I would get them to put the little bit of gas. They'll put like 2 gallons of gas, so I would drive the 2 gallons. I'd call AAA again, and I used up all of my mom's, all of my little brothers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Never did that. Never thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't have AAA.
No, neither did I.
Yeah.
I did panhandle for gas money, though. I remember that.
I mean, I have two different stories. I have the original one where I was broke and homeless on the street, and then I have the one where I relapsed, where I was already a successful, business owner. And it's like they were both really bad, and they were both really different.
Yeah.
I think the one being successful and having access to money was much more dangerous for me, even though the homeless one was like, I probably could have got shot. But this one, like, I had like an unlimited supply of drugs. It was gnarly.
The resources just keep going no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people couldn't stop me because like you couldn't, like, how do you stop an addict that has all of their own stuff?
Yep.
Except for by, setting boundaries with them and emotionally and mentally and physically cutting them off from your life, because you know that they're killing themselves, and that's like what my family had to do. And I mean, my wife, like, she called the cops on me a few times because she wanted them to just pick me up, but they couldn't even do anything. They couldn't come into my house.
Yep.
There was no reason for them to come in. They tried a couple times, knocked on the door. I just didn't answer it. But it's insanity.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that to people anymore.
Yeah. No.
How did you get into your final phase of recovery?
So it was actually an intervention. So at that point, yeah. So we kept getting raided and arrested in Georgia and South Carolina. So the last time in South Carolina, I got out on a PR bond. I went up to Vermont for a couple weeks thinking I was maybe going to get my life together. Realized that's not what I was going to do. Ended up flying out of Vermont out to San Francisco to meet up with a girl that I had met in Georgia. We were actually in treatment in the same area, so we would see each other at meetings. We had relapsed together in Georgia. She went out to California. I followed her out here into San Francisco, and immediately landed on the plane, went to a hotel, started using. Yeah. So was out in San Francisco. I still don't know exactly how long because it was a pretty constant state of psychosis.
Yeah.
My mom ended up facilitating an intervention. She hired an interventionist, the whole deal. The day before, luckily at the time I didn't think so. I was riding a stolen motorcycle. That motorcycle got stolen by someone else. So that was my one tie to resources. So the intervention worked. I came down to treatment after about 3-4 hours of putting my mom and the interventionist through hell. He had a bad time.
Yeah. Was it just your mom and the interventionist?
Yeah, so it was my mom, interventionist, some cousins, and my brother and sister on the phone. So the intervention worked. The interventionist did not come with us to treatment. I told him, you can hop on a bus. I wasn't dealing with him, but I wasn't going to leave my mom alone in San Francisco because it's my mom. Even in the worst part of my addiction, I wanted to be there for her because of everything that she went through with my dad, and then everything I put her through. So intervention worked. I still had no intention of getting clean, no intention of staying sober long term, but I would go to treatment until she went back home, and then I would plan on leaving.
Yeah.
It's actually what I told the admissions team when I got there is just let me stay 3 days so she can fly home, and then I'm going to leave. And held true to that promise. I stayed about 2.5 days. And I remember the visceral feeling sitting in that detox bed of I have to go get high. Not just I want to, like in my gut, everything in me, I need to go get high. So I asked them for my stuff. I walked out the door.
Yeah.
And then it was a pretty short run. It lasted not long. Ended up hopping on a Amtrak into LA. Actually, before I'd left. So only thing I had to my name when I got to treatment was clothes on my back, a gold chain. I had no phone, no wallet, no ID, absolutely nothing left. My mom, the treatment facility convinced my mom to get me some clothes. She really didn't want to, and she mentions it sometimes now of the treatment center told her, if you don't get him clothes, he'll use it as an excuse to leave. She explained to them he does not need a reason. He doesn't need an excuse. He's just going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
So I had those clothes when I left. Immediately went and sold the gold chain, traded it for dope, and then ended up in LA. Quote unquote partied for a couple days. I was right around Halloween, so I went to a Halloween party out of my mind high, and pretty quickly ran out of drugs, ran out of money, and had nothing left. So at that point, I knew not that I needed to get clean. It wasn't a moment of clarity. In my insanity, I knew I needed to get somewhere where I knew people that I could get drugs. So that was San Francisco, was the closest place for me. Had no way to get there, so ended up stealing a motorcycle in LA, thinking I'll get up to San Francisco on this. Back at it, we're okay. So that's when I started the panhandling for gas money. I'd gotten a haircut. I had a few days clean before I started using again, so I looked halfway decent.
Right.
So I would be able to get people to give me like $20 to fill up, $20 to fill up, $20 to fill up. Made it all the way to Fresno, and then got pulled over off the 5. I was out of gas, so I kind of ran to a gas station that I could still see the highway, so they found me pretty quickly. Wasn't the best escape plan.
Right.
And at this point, I was so used to getting arrested. I was just bullshitting with the cop, just talking to him like nothing was wrong. Got to a point where I'm not sure if I was crazy or if I actually convinced him that it was my buddy's motorcycle that I borrowed. But in any case, it was reported stolen, so he arrested me at that point. And I immediately remember I fell asleep in the cop car.
Yeah.
Because that was my pattern at that point. As soon as I'm in cuffs, I'm taking a nap because I know where I'm going. I know the process. This is autopilot for me, so I'm just going to go to sleep and get some rest.
Yeah.
Ended up in Fresno County Jail, which was very, very different to all the jails I've been to in the past on the East Coast. I think California's correctional system's pretty famous for being its own entity. And learned pretty quickly how things operate there and how much different it was than where I was from.
Crazy.
Insane.
It's very segregated.
Big boys.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew a little bit, but nothing firsthand knowledge.
Damn.
And in Fresno, you have all the bulldogs, so
Exactly.
like it's pretty scary.
Pretty
Yeah.
gnarly out there,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
It's definitely serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's
you woke up a little.
a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So in the moment, first couple of days, I think day 2 or 3, I ended up calling my mom, not to bail me out, just to say hi, let her know I was alive. She would never bail me out of jail. She's not going to help me because she knows I'm safe. She knows I'm alive. And that was enough for her. But I remember my first night there, it was 3 stack bunks. And
Triple
then-
stacks, huh?
Yeah. So it was 40 on the top, 50 on the bottom, I
Wow.
think. So 90-man pod. And the guy below me got jumped by like 4 dudes, some dead he owed. So they busted his thing open and ended up finding a little razor. So made something out of that and just kept it with me the whole time. And at that point was when I had a moment of clarity of I do not want to go to prison.
Yeah.
Just, I wouldn't even describe it as really fear. It was just disappointment in myself at that point of this is the last chance I'm going to get. So I started praying, went to the church service in there, started working out, started trying to make it the little positive changes so that I could hopefully carry that out. Whenever I did get out, I figured probably going to get fed kicked in a couple months. I'll go from there.
Yeah.
Got really lucky. Guy whose motorcycle it was that I stole didn't show up to court. Didn't didn't come and sign the police report, so I was let out. And every single person on my way out told me to call Mitchell, which was the guy who checked me into rehab.
Right.
All the COs, from the guy who called me at the door to
That's
the
so
gate.
funny. How did they know about him?
He had been contacting them, and my mom had been contacting them.
Because you were there before.
Yep.
That's where you left.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
So I spent the 2.5 days there. So they were trying to get me released on the condition of treatment, because that was the only way they thought I would complete treatment.
Right.
Is if I had that hanging over my
head.
head.
That doesn't work.
I don't think it would have.
Yeah.
So they still played that card a little bit. They told me that, because technically they had a few years to charge me. So they said that they were in contact, and my mom would tell me that, and the facility would tell me that. And it did keep me in treatment. Because at that point I think I was just done. I still left jail, and I went and got high at the bus stop. So I wasn't fully done, but in my head I knew there's no way I can do this again.
You just wanted one more before you went to rehab.
Yep.
Before you were really done.
Yeah. Yep. So ended up.
I took drugs in usually when I thought I was done, or I didn't know I was done, but I wanted to go. I didn't want to keep doing what I was doing. I got kicked out of a couple rehabs because I was getting high in detox.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why is this motherfucker
Still
not
bopping.
sleeping yet?
Yeah.
Like up all
Should be
night,
crashing
he
by
should be.
now."
We've given him Valium, everything. He's still psychotic. What's going on here?
Keep saying he's working for the CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I often kept that to myself. I really actually have never said it until I got sober.
Yep.
I didn't tell anybody when I was working because it was a secret.
Okay.
So like nobody could know.
Yep.
The funny thing is too, I'll tell you one other funny story, because I worked for the CIA, and my parents worked for the FBI. And they could morph into different people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Is it some good shit, man? Like, it's not fun.
No.
You know? I mean, I sit here and laugh about it because like I have to.
You have to afterwards.
But it's like, and I think the reason why I do, and the reason why I say this, is because like I want people to know that you can be as insane as I was.
Yep.
And have the exact opposite effect and become, you know, less sane and successful, and like, you know, it like change your life.
Yeah.
It's possible.
There's always
you can
hope.
be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's hope.
There's hope.
What
do we got to add?
You just have to add God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just add God.
You know,
That's the first thing you said. You got on your knees.
Yep.
In jail.
I mean, that was your first mistake if you wanted to keep using.
Yeah.
If you pray to God,
It's over.
yeah, and you're like, hey, I want to, you know, I don't want to live like this anymore, and I want to, you know, I want a different life, and you try to continue down that road, man, he puts up every single roadblock possible, and it just, you know, until you have to stop.
Yeah.
And if he won't stop, man, it's gonna be so bad.
So bad.
Just gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gets worse until he's like, you know, here you go, you know. So you made it to treatment?
Made it back.
You made it back?
Yep.
On a bus?
So I got an Uber. So my mom got me an Uber. I spent my gate money on meth.
How was the Uber ride from Fresno?
Yeah.
To Palm
To
Springs?
Palm Springs.
That's a long ass ride.
Very long. And I still remember the Uber driver was a very religious Muslim from Palestine. Really cool dude. Kind of told him what was going on. He would make stops, and I would smoke meth in the bathrooms because he didn't want to do it in his car.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you were honest with the guy,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
Like, I just, can we pull over here? I need to hit the pipe real quick.
Yep. And that was one weird thing is I was pretty honest. I was not honest overall. I was a very dishonest, selfish person, but everybody knew I was getting high. I made no efforts to hide it
Right.
ever through my use. So I was getting high all the way down. And last time I smoked meth was in the bathroom of the treatment center. At the center, that's the first place I went, finished it off, washed the pipe out, and gave it to the owner of the treatment center.
Now, let me ask you, because I'm going to go way ahead real quick,
Yep.
but you run that treatment center now.
Yes,
Do you ever go into that same bathroom where you smoked your last?
I do now. For a long time, I avoided it.
You did?
Yes, because it's got the same paintings. One of them is sort of a cityscape, and in that moment, I thought, this is a painting of what I was doing. They've been tracking me the whole time. This is set up. There's cameras here watching me. So I would avoid it for a long time. I would say it was about 6 months until I had graduated treatment before I went in that bathroom.
Nice.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious that I thought about that because
Yeah.
I'm like, man, the last place I got high,
Yeah.
there's like now in my life, there's no places that I got high that's in my life.
Yeah.
I never got high at the house I live in now. I've never gotten high at this building here. I've been high here a couple times. Not good.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Why would you ever show up here high?
This is about Gus.
Okay, sorry.
I have the same question
Gus.
because that would be miserable for me.
Miserable.
Yeah,
I thought people were stealing shit from me.
of course. Yep.
Yeah. So I had to come check
Protect your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually it was like my cell phone. I would misplace it, and then I would think somebody came to my house and stole it.
Came and hit it here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would come here looking for it and accuse
Meanwhile,
people.
this is back pocket.
Meanwhile, it was like in a couch cushion somewhere. You know.
In the sock drawer.
Yep.
Yeah.
With your car keys.
It's not good times.
No.
Man.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that last stint in jail. So this is it, right? This is it.
Yeah.
This was the last time you used was in the rehab in the bathroom.
Yep. That was the very last time. After that,
Did you
I
dive
had-
in?
yes and no. I dove in a little bit, but I remember every step along the way, I knew there was no way I was staying sober. I would just keep doing what I was doing the day before and then listen to people. And all those cliche things that people say is the only reason I made it, because when I picked up 30 days, I knew I was leaving by 60. 60 knew I was leaving by 90. 90 knew I was going to get high again. At no point did I have any faith or confidence in myself that I would be able to stay clean.
Right.
And then I would say right around that 3-month mark, ended up getting a sponsor, started going to meetings, started going to events, started helping people. And then the real moment shift, and I've talked about this a lot with clients, people in meetings, people I'm trying to get into treatment. I was sitting in one of the rooms at the Sober Living and had that same visceral urge to get high that I had in detox to the same extent. There was no other option. This is what I have to go do. And then my sponsor's voice popped in my head of just sit through it, it'll pass.
Yeah.
And that was the first time in my life that I was able to sit through a feeling without lashing out, without either going and doing something completely crazy or going to use.
Right.
And that was, I think, the big moment shift where I knew, okay, this is possible for me.
You stacked a big win right there.
Huge.
Yeah.
God showed up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because you prayed way back then.
Yep.
You might have been praying after
Yeah.
when you got to treatment. But
A
it all
lot.
started back there, yeah.
Yep.
So since then, since that moment, how have things been?
Amazing, and have gotten better every step of the way. I've been pretty blessed since then that I gave up my will to God and he took care of everything. Every plan I've ever had in my life always led me down the same path. So I just figured I'm not going to plan anything. I know what I want in life in a general sense, but as far as the specifics of how I get there, and then as far as the specifics of what that really looks like as far as a day-to-day lifestyle, all I do is my part. Everything else seems to just fall into place. And
Yeah.
that's how God works in my life at this point. Is I know the steps I need to take to continue to be blessed. And as long as I keep doing that, those things keep coming to me.
Right. It's about the journey.
Exactly.
Kobe Bryant talked about that a lot. I bring him up a lot, but like I listen to that stuff a lot. That's all I listen to. Positive, motivational, YouTube videos and books on those types of subjects. That's what I do. And I do books on business too, because I like those.
Yep.
They're a little bit more boring on audio books though. You got to put
Yeah.
those at like 1.5 because some of them are boring. I'm reading Think and Grow Rich right now by Napoleon Hill. It's an older book.
Yep.
But it's a really good book. I think you would like it.
I've almost bought it a couple times.
Yeah.
I just got done with the Dale Carnegie book. I always space on the name. But I can't do the audiobooks.
You can't?
No.
So you read?
Yeah. I have
Nice.
to actually read. I do podcasts, listen to music, but if I try and listen to audiobooks, my brain goes into a completely different world. So,
Yeah, I just do it when I'm driving,
yeah.
and I seem to like drive. It's weird. I don't realize how much I drive until I started listening to audiobooks, and I'm like, this one's like 7 hours long, and I was finishing like a book a week. So I just started this one. I like a lot of the stuff in there because it talks about manifesting what you want in
Yep.
life. It doesn't actually use that term, but that's what I get from it, and it gives you the steps on how to do that. So you started working in treatment
Yeah.
before I met you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started out kind of working in treatment, more of a sober job. So I'd been working in a little restaurant in the Air Museum in Palm Springs. And then I started working for the treatment center. I cleaned out garages, reorganized stuff at the sober livings, did just sort of random little jobs that they had around the facility.
Yeah.
And then showed that I was able to show up to work, show that I have that work ethic from when I was a kid and how I was raised. And they kept on giving me a little bit more and a little bit more responsibility. Started working the live chat, talking to people that would go on the website. Ended up helping some people into treatment through that. And then eventually they gave me a phone and just said, answer, help them.
Right. When I met you, you were answering phones.
Yep.
Yeah. You're really good at that.
It's rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How is it? Because like Shane's good at it. You're good. You have a knack for it.
Yep.
I panic.
Yep.
I really do. I'm like, oh my God, the phone's ringing. Here. Answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't like. I mean, I would never. I don't need to do it. I'd never leave it. I've been doing it for 15. I mean,
Yeah, you've been answering phones for a long time.
millions of dollars later, I'm still doing it. I
Yep.
just love. I love crisis.
Yeah.
I love it. The front line to crisis. That's
So when they're calling in,
raw.
getting that person at
Yeah.
one of the worst moments of their life.
The worst.
And they have no idea what to do.
No.
Half the people that have talked to them either just hang up the phone if the
Right.
insurance doesn't work, or
Yeah.
they just dismiss them or say, "Oh, someone will call you back in a couple
no one
hours."
does. Yeah.
And
And
to be
nobody
that
does.
person,
No one
yeah.
does. Yeah.
And that's always what they expect. So when they're actually listened to and you give them that opportunity to explain what's been happening, a lot of times it's the same story. So you sort of know where the story is going to go, but you still have to let them tell their story and then figure out what they need to be helped.
Right.
Whether it's them trying to get into treatment or a family member or a friend, a couple times a coworker, whatever the situation is, getting to hear that person
Yeah.
and then give them exactly what they need, even if they don't know what that is at first. That's what I think is so rewarding about it.
Nice. What about you?
Yeah. It's just leadership. You're in that
Yeah.
role. You're in that role. You're the quarterback of the team at that point. The family's flustered. They're frustrated. They have no idea. Everyone's full of anxiety, and you're just kind of there. Listen, just calm down.
Yep.
I'm gonna help you no matter what.
Right.
And that's how I started. That's how I got into this. Medi-Cal, HMOs, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
You make a name for yourself.
Yep.
You got a true character there.
There's,
Yeah.
like you said, there's always an option out there
Always.
for everyone.
Always.
And sometimes all they need is just explain the process, and then they
Yeah.
can go there and they can do it themselves.
Yeah. Or you tell the mother or the father, and then
Yep.
they have,
A roadmap.
yeah, exactly, to help
Yep.
their kid, because they're lost. The parents are lost. Yeah.
Those are always the toughest ones, is definitely the parents.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's rough. I know just from my own experience, I put my parents through hell.
Yep.
More than anybody.
Yeah. I put my mom through more than she ever should have been put through.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the craziest things, is at one point in it was actually in Georgia. My mom actually got arrested because of me. She had shown up trying to get me to go into treatment, and that same day, for some reason, the police decided today's the day we're raiding.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
And she was in your house.
No, so she was outside. I was in my car, and then the police rolled up and kicked in the door, did the whole deal. So they ended up not being able to arrest me because I wasn't in the house. But they arrested her for obstruction of justice because she was explaining that they can't do what they were doing to me.
Oh.
So she went to jail. And then I was brought to jail. They did the strip search and then had to kick me because I didn't have anything on me.
Yeah.
But at that point, that's when I sort of figured, okay, I'm just going to disconnect completely from my family because then I can't hurt them anymore.
Right.
In reality, that's its own form of torture for her because she has no idea where I am, what I'm doing, anything.
Whether you're dead, whether you're
Yeah.
alive. Yeah. It's rough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking for a body.
You know, and on,
Yep.
and on that topic, it's like, you know, we've been there. So like, you know, for people that need help, man, and you're listening to this, like, you can call us. They can call us.
Yep.
Anytime. You know, you can find us on the Infinity Group website or any of the other treatment centers that we have, or 866 number.
Yeah.
What is it, Shane?
866
930
HOPE.
HOPE, yeah.
Yeah.
4673.
4673. What if they want to get a hold of you personally? You got an Instagram handle or something, or
Not really. I don't really use
business
social media.
handle, or
Nothing.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
They can call Ken Seeley Community.
Ken
Yep.
Seeley Communities.
Give
That's
out
what,
my direct number.
that's what I was
Yeah.
asking for there, bro.
Yeah.
Way to plug
Ken
it.
Seeley
Yeah,
Community.
way to plug it, man. Here, we're gonna start over.
I thought you
Gonna
meant
gonna
mine.
rerun
Run it
that.
back one time. We'll cut that out.
No,
No, we don't cut
we
it.
don't edit.
Look,
We're
he's
just-
not even doing anything.
we don't edit. We're just gonna ask you again. So yeah, what's the place called?
Ken Seeley Community.
Nice. Is there a phone number for that?
There is.
Nice. Okay, you know what it is?
Yeah, it's 877-323-9322.
Nice. Ken Seeley Communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's part of the Infinity Group.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Famous interventionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His podcast just aired today.
Today.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was yesterday I saw it show up.
Yeah. Eric's was good. Did you see that Ken co-hosted?
No, I haven't seen
Oh,
that
you
one
got to
yet.
see it. It's so good.
I gotta
Yeah,
watch
I'm gonna
Eric's.
watch
Yeah,
it too.
Eric is, man, I didn't
funny.
know Eric. Yeah,
Yeah,
did
he's
you
got
watch
a
it?
great sense. No, but I
you
know
can
him.
watch
He's
this
got a-
one because
yeah,
you're not
I'm
on
not
it.
in it.
Shane doesn't watch any of the podcasts.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why. I watch every single one so I can like tell him like, dude, what are you doing? You're
Yeah.
doing this wrong.
Yes.
No, not really.
He thinks
He
has
hasn't
no
said
notes.
anything yet.
I just like to critique myself.
Yeah.
See if I like am mumbling too much or saying like or too much. I do say but I don't think I say it too much.
I haven't
Yeah,
noticed.
no.
Yeah, I don't say the F word either very
No.
often unless I'm really like,
Yeah.
passionate about something and I need to say it.
That's
But
one of the things I'm still working on is definitely the cursing.
it'll go away.
Yeah.
It naturally kind of goes away.
Fades.
Yeah, and because look, think about it. So when I met you, you're now what's your official title at Ken Seeley Communities?
Program manager.
Program
Wow.
manager. So he
Yeah.
manages the whole program.
Jesus, that's good stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 24
Wow.
years old.
I'm 26.
24.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
26 yet.
Oh, 24, you're program manager.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. He's coming for the seat.
Yeah.
He's coming
for
the
our
big
seat.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming for our seats.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
Right?
mean, I wasn't even doing that at 24.
Neither was I.
I was a fitness trainer at 24. About to relapse
Yeah.
again. Yeah. I mean, that's impressive, dude.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you got that job because as you know, I monitor a lot of the admission stuff. So I saw everything that was going on. I saw your emails. And I was like, this guy can do it. I don't care how old he is. He carries himself like somebody much older. You look older. How did people? Let me ask you that question because you became the program manager. There was a lot of people that already work there that are older than you. How did everybody respond to having a boss that was 24 years old? And
Well,
how did you deal with that?
So a lot of people did not know I was 24. They had no idea how old I was. They thought I was maybe 30, something along those lines, but they knew I was younger than them.
Right.
I think most of them actually took it in stride because they'd seen that I was there before them at the actual facility,
Right.
and that I had held a lot of different roles in the actual facility. A couple people were a little bit put off by it, and I just had a conversation with them of, I'm not here because of my age. If I was 80 years old, it still comes down to what can we do as a program to help people,
Yeah.
not how long have we been doing this individually.
What level is that, Chad? 5?
What?
What level is that?
5.
Yeah.
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 A young level 5 leader. Yeah.
That
We as
reference
a
went
team.
over my head a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's a good book. Before reading the book that I just mentioned, the better book is From Good to Great.
Okay.
It's a great book on leadership, and it talks about the different levels of leadership, and then it also talks about how to be an effective level 5 leader. And level 5 leaders teach other leaders to lead.
Yep.
It's so much easier when you do that, and you give people autonomy to make their own mistakes.
Yep.
Like I do that all the time. How do you learn if you don't if somebody doesn't make a mistake? I can't sit here and micromanage 150 people.
Impossible.
Drive yourself crazy.
No, I just can't. I take a look at and I know a little bit of what's going on at every single facility. I don't worry a lot about Ken Seeley communities. I don't really worry a lot about Hope Lodge, formerly known as Howard Lodge. We got a good team over at Pillars, and Serene. I'm Serene and Hope. I'm like directly involved with.
Yeah.
I hear the most about. I do get like all your guys' emails. It's a lot.
Constant.
Yeah. Yeah. I could walk out of here sometimes after an hour session and there's a 200 emails that I missed.
That's what I'm walking out to right after this.
Yeah.
I already know.
You just walk out and I figure out what I need to respond to, though. I've got it down to a science now and I can do it quickly. But I have to have zeros on my emails before I do it often throughout the day, but before I go to bed, mine have to be at 0 because, as you know, we're a 24-hour a day facility or business, so emails are still going out while we're sleeping.
Yep. You're waking up to something.
Yep. So how's it been being the program manager at Ken Seeley Communities?
It's been great. It was definitely a transition from the admission side to the program management side. Being a little bit more involved with the day-to-day of the clinical team.
Yeah.
A little bit more involved with the clients once they're in the facility, and being a part of that process rather than just the process of getting them into treatment. It's sort of that second stage of how can we get this person that's here from the mentality that they're coming from to the mentality that's going to keep them sober long-term and make sure that they're not coming back to us after.
Right. That's good. You got any questions?
That's a great thought. I mean, just that statement right there is a character of what this whole company is.
Right.
It's that we don't want them back.
No, we don't want them back.
No, we don't want them back. And we're going to do everything in our power to keep them away from us and from everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah, the Infinity Group doesn't want repeat customers.
No. Bad for business.
No, yeah, it's bad for. It's not what we do. It's not what we're about. But I mean, if somebody relapses in there and they're welcome to come back. But that's our goal is for them to not
have to.
Yeah. Ever give them the tools that they can use for forever.
Ever.
Yeah. Life-changing stuff.
Life-changing stuff. What did you say? Say that again.
So just helping. I don't remember the exact words, but
beautiful.
Helping them from the mindset that they came from to one that means that they don't have to come back to treatment.
Yeah, changing the mindset.
Yeah.
That's actually the one thing that needs to change in treatment, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to change everything. You just need to change your perception, which your perception is your mindset, right? So you change that, everything else changes.
It all follows it.
Yeah, the way you look at things, if you change the way you look at things, everything changes. You stop having to try to control situations. And like you said earlier at the very, very beginning, letting life happen on life's terms.
Yep.
But damn, that's a hard thing to do when you first get here.
Yeah.
You're used to controlling and manipulating every situation that's going on around you.
I cried.
When you went to treatment?
Yeah.
I did the second time because I think that I was emotionally attached at that point.
Yeah.
Of this actually means something to me, not just somewhere I'm going to go be for a couple weeks or.
I cried for like 120 days.
Oh, the whole time?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I was done. I was sad. I was mad. I was just fucking 150 pounds. Yeah.
150 pounds.
150. I remember wearing 2 pairs of pants, a pair of sweats and a pair of pants, just to keep them up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I had didn't have a belt. I had a
string?
No, bro, close to that. One of those things like around a dress, a slip that goes around a dress. You tie it little. Yeah, one of those. I was using that as a belt. I'll never forget the guy at the taking my plane ticket. He said, "Yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck." He just waved me through. Didn't even search me. Just go. Yeah. Yeah. Go to the bathroom,
luck.
bro. Good luck to you. Yeah.
Did you tell me you were going to treatment?
No, he knew. He knew. He knew. There's no no. He knew. I was bad. Right to Charlie Street. That's how bad I was.
You went to Charlie Street?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was my second one.
So, okay.
I did
yeah.
Sober Living by the Sea. I went out there for another year, and then I went to Charlie Street for 10 days. And then that was the beginning of the end for me.
That was it? Charlie
Yeah,
Street was the
yeah.
you did 10 days at Charlie
10
Street?
days.
And then just, that was it?
That was the last. They told me that was the last.
That's
storm.
the last house on the block.
Yeah.
Anything after that is like death or prison.
Yeah. Or the bushes. You're living in the bushes.
Yeah.
I didn't
Some people get out of the bushes and go to Charlie Street.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The smell of urine, and that was not pretty.
Yeah.
No.
So did you do a crack run out here in California?
Yeah.
Nice.
Here.
He smoked crack.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
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 That one takes quick.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, it's like I never really smoked. I never smoked crack at
Ever?
all. One time
Okay.
but that was it. I didn't really, and I must not have got the the high that
Message.
everybody gets. But I was already an IV meth user by the time.
Oh, yeah. No, bro.
So like,
Can't really compare the two.
yeah, I was already having ringing in my head every time. you know.
Yeah.
I heard that crack like it gives you like this ring like one time, like a gnarly ring in your head, and then
Just look for that.
and then you search for that forever.
Yeah.
And you almost get there.
Almost. Just every time you're just like this close, and you're like the next one.
And then sometimes you think you're going to pass out, and it's not good enough. It took out a whole generation, bro.
Yeah.
In the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Whole generation.
It did.
Yeah.
There was the whole crack babies and
Yeah.
all of that was going on. It was bad.
Bad. What do you do every day now? Like, what's your day like?
Routine.
Yeah.
Wake up, pray, breakfast. Then I go do a little bit of gym.
Yeah.
So that's when I'll usually go do morning cardio 3 or 4 times a week.
Right.
Spend the time in the office, and then go to the gym again. Either hit a meeting, go to the gym, and then spend some time at home. I have a pretty relaxed life at this point during the week.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, I go skydiving, go down to the beach, high adrenaline activities.
Wow. Good for you.
So you leave the Palm Springs area.
Yeah.
On
Get
the
out of the
weekends.
desert.
Yeah.
It's grown on me a lot out there. I never ever thought I would stay there long term.
Yeah.
But again, that's one of those things that just
Summer's
happened.
coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be
We had a
hot.
great
I'll
winter.
be hiding. It's bad.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how it became Palm Springs and why so many people chose that as the spot.
The heat, that dry heat is like, it's good for, well, I don't know. I mean, I know
I don't
my
know
older
either.
people moved out there.
Yeah.
The heat is good for their like bones and their joints and their muscles. I don't know how the rest of it happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just
Doesn't feel like it could be good for you.
somebody, like movie stars started going out there.
Yeah, it was
Like the
the
70s?
Rat Pack
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
Or
They say
was it
that's when
before
started.
that? 60s?
I don't know.
You
I'm
don't?
not from here, bro.
Oh. Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
I thought Canadians knew everything about
No.
California.
No.
He just knows there's no snow, so it's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never shovel
Is there
again.
snow in Winnipeg
Right now, for sure.
Yeah.
So are you a pretty routine person? That the first three things you said that you do when you wake up in the morning, that's 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we talk about here that we're really into is that, you got to stack wins,
Exactly.
And stacking wins early in the morning is a great way to get your day started, not just for addicts, but for people in general.
Builds that momentum, and then you just carry that into your day. If I
Yeah.
miss that, any piece of that, it throws my day off, and I know exactly why it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So you miss one day every couple weeks, and it reminds you this is why I do all the things that I do.
Yeah. I mean, I took a couple of days off from the gym. I took a Sunday and Monday off. I took Sunday off, and I was on a good run, like, probably, I don't know how many days in a row. But I took Sunday off because I really needed the day off. And I had so much energy. I just came over here. I put those things on the windows. I cleaned it all up. I moved stuff around. But,
Burn off that excess energy.
yeah. Because when you do go to the gym, like it does, you do
Oh yeah.
burn off all the energy,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm much more relaxed when I go to the gym. For me,
100%.
yeah. Well, damn,
Just add God.
yeah,
Yep.
That is the secret. That's the
That's
sauce.
the trick.
That is the trick.
Yeah.
That is the shift in perception, right?
yeah,
So just so we're all clear, because people are hiding from God. Schools are hiding from God. Institutions are hiding from God. Governments are hiding from God. We want to bring God back into people's lives.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's how to recenter everyone. And that's what I think this podcasts like this, people who are open and honest about it, does so much for people, because you see, like you said, when we talk about the psychosis, it's not because that was fun. It's because it can address the stigma, either in family members who think there's no coming back for their loved one,
right,
the people who see people on the street and think there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
I'm proof, you're proof, you're proof.
Yeah.
You can come back from that.
right,
And there's an option out there.
yeah, and you can become very successful.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of us are more successful than, you know, you're just average person that went to a 4-year university and, you know, now works a 9 to 5. Like,
Yep.
we don't work 9 to 5s. We work until the work's done,
Yeah.
because we're, you know, that's the lifestyle that we always had. I mean, it was 24 hours a day to be a drug addict
Oh yeah.
every day,
At least.
you know?
Yeah, we're used to the long hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you take that kind of stuff, and that's the hope I want to give addicts too. It's like, you know what, instead of like leaving time, space in between your, you know, your days. That's like when the bad thoughts can come in, and then, you know, or you know, for lack of other words, like the devil can come in and try to trick you.
It's
And,
like that.
hey, why don't you just sit on the couch a little bit longer?
Yeah.
You know, why don't you play some video games? Or how about you get out there and do something, be of service to other people, you know, look for opportunity. Opportunities everywhere, but it's not in your house sitting there, at, you know.
It's not a Netflix show.
No, it's not. You're never going to find it there. It's not on Instagram, you know. Most people aren't going to become famous Instagram models or influencers. I think so many people want to be like an Instagram influencer, but like, what are they influencing?
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you know, putting like girls putting on bikinis and, you know, trying to look how does that help society get better? Or give me an example of guys that are Instagram influencers I know
hair models or whatever.
No, I was thinking about those guys that all they do is post about you know, cars, money, and houses that they probably rent.
Yep.
You know, like, how does that help society? Like, you're selfishly showing off. And that's like, that's not what we're trying to do. We're actually trying to influence the society to find some hope, to change their lives,
Get clarity,
get better, find God, you know, live a life. I'm living a life beyond my wildest dream. Like, I really am. I was a scumbag on, you know, homeless, trying to sell drugs. I was horrible at it. People didn't want me around, and I took that same energy though, and I started putting it to good. And, you know, the last 22 years, I'm very proud of the man that I've become. I'm proud to look in the mirror. You know, I take care of my wife, my kids. Like, after this podcast, my son is he's a junior in high school. We're heading down to Point Loma to go look at the college, because that's one of the colleges he's looking at. That in Baylor, because he's got a 4.2 grade point average. You know, I'm proud of that stuff. My daughter lost her boyfriend to fentanyl poisoning, is what we call it now. We no longer call it fentanyl overdoses, because there's no safe dosage of fentanyl. So every fentanyl death is a poisoning. Every fentanyl use is a poison.
Yeah.
There's no safe. It's like
Small sugar container.
Yeah, Mike Fiore grabbed a thing of sugar, and then he's like, "This will kill 500 people.
Yep.
A bag of sugar of fentanyl size." It's like, and I've been able to be there for my daughter. Like, that was a hard day. It still fucks me up inside, man. And it's not, it fucks me up for two reasons, because that was like a tragedy in her life, and the pain that she's had to go through to, to witness that, to find him, to lose the guy that, she really loved. It's brought her and I closer together, but it's still like, when you have kids, you feel your kid's pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, that's what this is about. This is about, like, stopping this fentanyl crisis. I mean, they did stuff when crack was fucking people up, killing people, killing babies. Well, we're losing 300 people a day from fentanyl poisoning.
It's the number one cause of death.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about.
Right? And what are they really doing about it? All I hear is them running their goddamn mouths, for lack of better words, because it pisses me off. Yep. I just hear them running their mouths. And when I say they, I'm talking about the government. I hear them running their mouths on the news channel, whether it be Fox News or CNN or whatever, but they're not actually doing anything. Yep. They're sending fucking billions of dollars to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, just give us, a fraction of that. Send a little bit less to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And bring people like, myself. I got a shit ton of people that, what could advise you on how to stop this crisis.
Provide real resources, not just a half a Band-Aid on a situation.
Yeah, they never, the money that they always use, so they'll like set it, they'll give money, right? And that money, like, only a fraction of it actually goes to help the people. The rest of it goes to their buddies to,
pay salaries for people to study the issue. We already know what the issue is.
Yeah.
We already know the solution.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing it that way. And that's what this podcast and our movement, it's not just this podcast, because we got a group of guys that we just met last week.
Crazy group of guys.
Yeah. And they've already got their followings like triple ours already. Yeah. Like triple. And we're all banding together for a movement. And, these guys are excited too, man. And they're like, some of them are really good
the Bible
speakers. Yeah. They speak really well. I'm not a public speaker. I will sit in front of Congress, though, because I can put a suit on and I can look damn professional.
Ask your questions.
And and I can. I have no problem doing that.
No.
I'm older, so, like, I've been in this industry 22 years, so they're going to respect what I have to say, and they're going to listen.
Yep.
And that's what this is about. This is why it's so important, and why we're putting out so much content and constantly talking about it, because we're not going to be satisfied until we have 300 people hear our voice, and at least a big fraction of those people following us, so I can sit up in front of these guys in the government and be like, you better do something, or we will.
Yep.
Like, we'll vote you all out. And, you know how many addicts there are? There's probably enough addicts in California to get rid of the governor if we all band together.
Yeah. Easily.
So they need to do something different, man.
Yeah.
They really do. They can't have that this homeless, every homeless person, not every single one, but most of them are smoking fentanyl right now on the street.
The vast majority.
Yeah.
Veterans stuck on the streets in LA and not getting help that they deserve, like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. But you can send how many billions to Ukraine so far?
A few too many.
Yeah.
Anybody know?
Maybe 100 too many.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
How about our veterans? So that's the movement, man.
Yeah. Revolution.
Yeah. We're I was texting with Mike last night. We're calling it the Great Awakening. People are going to wake up and they're going to hear it, because everybody knows somebody at this point who's died from fentanyl. I mean, we see it because we see it
constant,
way too much. Sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks to get those phone calls. Sucks to get those emails. It's horrible. So, anyways, man, thanks for coming. That's badass.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, bros.
Thank y'all for
Appreciate it.
having me.
It's fun. Yeah, we enjoy it. So,
Not hit the mic.